Okay, I wonder if we're on live. Maybe I should check the... Hey, can you check the Facebook page, see if we're going live? Yeah, sure. Alright, hold on a second. Hey, everybody! Do you love me? I mean, now do you really love me? I want you to. Your backstage pass and black sunglasses make you look just like a queen. How do we start? Okay, hey, BOOZHOO nish Anishinaabe Dug, and welcome back to BOOZHOO Nana BOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am not a BOOZHOO, and this is the live stream. The live stream. Cause we're living in America. Nah. Alright. Okay, Michael, why don't you pull it up? Excuse me for a moment, people. I can't get off that. I know we're live, but is anybody seeing this? Oh, there's 3 people seeing it. Okay. Hey, BOOZHOO! And welcome back to the show. For anybody new, this is the Anishinaabe Moan show. This is the show that teaches Ojibwe language and culture. And, you know, there's something about the Indian way where you never forget your old friends like Shannon. Oh, BOOZHOO, Nimase. There's my sister Shannon. It's really nice to see you, baby. Shannon and I used to, we used to sing together and play music. We lived in Duluth. Shannon had a boyfriend who was a buddy of mine, and he was a guitar player, and she dumped him. I think she got a better man. Can't find a better man. So yeah, so we're going live today, and I really wish I could see this on, okay, hold on you guys. I'm going to be right back. Hey, what's going on over here? Dig, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Can, my darling, can you picture this? You will, a courtyard, an ocean of violets and blue. Animals strike curious poses. They feel the heat between me and
How
you.
can you just leave me standing
alone in a world that's so cold?
A world that's so cold.
Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Yeah. Oh, sweetie, that was great.
I'm probably not even hikes. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO. All right, so today on our live stream, I thought our Ojibwe word, it's really early. It's not that early. It's 7:26. I mean, come on. You know, I come from a fisherman. There's a long line of fishermen in my family. So getting up early is really important to fishermen. They say you got to get up because fish like to eat breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. And so today's Ojibwe word of the day. Let's make it muka'um. sunrise. You know, the elders say, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And then there's Bongishimo. Bongishimog is sunset. So here's my question to you. Shannon, do you prefer sunrise? Are you ambitious? Do you get up early? Do you live in balance so you're not all hungover and you can get up early? Or do you like sunset because you're a night owl? Because you live the fast life? Nah. I don't think she lives a fast life. She's got kids now. I think she gets sleep when she can. I think she passes out with the little one at, in the middle of the afternoon because she doesn't get enough sleep. But yeah, so Muka'um. And Muka'um is the name of a camp in Cass Lake. A really old camp. My grandma used to talk about Muka'um. It's part of Campo Kills, I think. Or at least now it's part of Campo Kills. Muka'um. Sunrise, oh good. I'm glad you said that. I don't know why. So, all right, what should we talk about? Things are going really well here in Bemidji. We took the show on the road. You're not boring, sweetie. You're a life creator. You've never been more creative in your life. A mother is a sacred being. The other day I saw somebody on Facebook goes, oh, wow, I'm a real warrior. I gave birth. I am a warrior. And I was like, you know what? Being a mother is greater than being a warrior, but it's not being a warrior. I'm sorry, ladies. I know everybody wants to, oh, I'm a warrior. But being a mother is being a life creator. Life comes through you. It's being an artist. Being a warrior, is sometimes you got to take life. Not every struggle is a warrior. A warrior fights a war, So you can be a warrior if you're fighting the war against alcoholism or the war, against something else. But, being a mother, creating life, that's something greater. Because, I was talking about my grandpa. My grandpa was a real warrior. He fought in a war. You can't just throw around that term, Ogichida, Ogichida, warrior. I was saying, now a person takes a class at the college and it's like, oh, wow, you're a real Ogichida. They say the warriors of the future will be the Ogichida of the classroom. But aren't we kind of, setting that bar sort of low? Oh, I'm taking ceramics. I'm a real Ogichida. My grandpa, and my grandma too, for that matter, they served in the World War II. My grandpa was a warrior over in Guadalcanal, machine gun. And he fought, other warriors. It was rough. And my grandma, so back in the days of my grandma and my grandpa, when they were young, this is for the kids. There was a war, and they called it World War II. It was like the sequel to World War I. And I wonder, did they call World War I? Hey, honey, do you think they called World War I when it was going on?
No, I don't think so. I think they just thought it was a war.
Oh, yeah. When do you suppose they started calling it World War I?
Oh, probably after World War II got started.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, World War II, a lot of the kids now is, hey, Cece, BOOZHOO, and cuz. Now I got a cuz here. We're talking about war. I thought that'd be a nice subject to start a Saturday morning children's show. This is something I never saw Ernie and Bert talk about. When is it proper to kill? Nah. So, war. Yeah. So my grandpa fought in the war, and my grandma during that time, all the men went over to the South Pacific, or they went to Germany or France or wherever, and they were fighting a war. So all the ladies, they had to pick up the slack back home, and they started taking jobs. So you see, before my grandmother's time, women, they were mothers and teachers and nurses and that, but a lot of them didn't work in the private sector. They stayed home with the kids and they built a home. And when the war broke out, like my grandma, she went down to the cities and she started working for the airline. She said she used to clean out the turrets, and I didn't know what a turret was. But that's where like the guns, where they would shoot people in the war. And she made a bunch of friends with some soldiers, and they taught her how to put together a machine gun blindfolded. Can you believe that? This a little old lady. I mean, she wasn't old then, but that was my grandma. I was thinking about my grandma Leona. You remember my grandma Cece? Yeah. The women in my family, oh, they're strong. They weren't warriors. They were strong women. And none of them called themselves feminists. Here's another subject you never. Today's the letter Sesame Street is brought to you today by the letter F for feminism. Nah. Honey, are you a feminist?
Am I a feminist? No.
Why not?
Why should I be?
Oh, yeah. It becomes one of those questions. How come you're not a feminist? Hey, everybody, this is what a feminist looks like. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't kill babies. Nah, I'm just trying to alienate all the women here. Hey, Cece, are you a feminist? Are you feminine? Oh, wow. I'm a masculinist because I'm masculine. Nah. Let's see, what else do we talk about? So the Ojibwe word is muka'um, and I started talking about muka'um, the summer camp in Cass Lake. And, my grandma used to go to camp out there. Oak Hills, too. I think it still has a summer camp. My grandma would go back in the days. There was a lot of life here in the old days. Kind of makes me think, a few years ago, I used to host an open mic Wednesday nights at the Palace Casino, which I think they closed up because there's a new casino now in Cass Lake called Cedar Lake Casino. And but back in the day, we had an open mic, and I had this idea that, oh, you know what? I'll bring out an amp and a guitar and a single microphone, maybe a stool, and people will come up one by one and sing a song. But then on the first night, oh wow, all these elders came out, all these guys in their 60s with their guitars and their amps. There's all these old bar band guys. It's like, we're like, oh wow, let's go jam. And they just all came up on stage at the same time. Remember that, sweetie?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, there was old, well, later on, they became Red Cedar Lake Band. These guys are really good, by the way. So we had an open mic that turned into an open jam at the Palace Casino, and all these old guys came out. And that's when I learned that, before we had cable TV up here, back in the 70s, there was a really, really vibrant nightlife. There was a lot of bar bands. They had supper clubs, they called them. You could go to this restaurant and you'd order dinner. There'd be a special like fish or whatever. Ribs. Get some. What do they call that? What's that red stuff you put on ribs?
Barbecue sauce?
Yeah, that's right. They had barbecue sauce, and you'd have dinner, and then people would be smoking cigarettes right at the table, and a band would come out and play all night. So you'd have supper, and then you'd go dancing. And all these Indian guys were in bands, and they'd tour around northern Minnesota, They toured around in Canada and that. And oh wow, they were great. I remember, what was his name? Funk. Mr. Funk. Hikes, why am I forgetting his name? Clem? Oh, I feel really bad. There's a guy I played guitar with, his last name was Funk. I'll think of it in a second. But he was a country swing guitar player, and oh, it was just great. Anyway, we did that for a couple of years, and it was a good time. But then, you know, cable TV comes along, and then pretty soon MTV came along, and then video games came along, and everybody quit playing music. And the old supper clubs closed up. It's almost too bad. And then they started cracking down on drunk driving. So people wised up and they quit going out to supper clubs. I heard a joke recently. What would you have, you know, like drunk driving? There's that Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD. What if you combined MAD with the NAACP? It'd be Mothers Against the Advancement of Colored People. Nah. Did you hear any other jokes lately?
This is the key to us getting out of here.
Not so much a key as a divining rod.
They're going. Dad, look! They're leaving!
Like myself, you have fallen through a dimensional doorway. In my case, however, only time was affected, not location. It is a tool for traveling through the universe.
This is our one chance to get home. We can't let him have it.
If what Enoch says is true, son.
It isn't. It can't be.
But it's got nothing to do with you. I've got no one, still you won't do. And after today, I'd say we aren't quite through. But I know you won't break down, you won't miss a step, you won't be around, and you'll never regret. But one day, when I'm old and gray, I might look back and say, these were the golden days. One day, when I'm old and I'm gray, I might look back and say, this was the price.
Anger is kept in check. That is why my race has endured so long. You must leave now.
Stop it, Will. What do you think you're doing?
Yes!
No, son.
We've got to make him tell us how to use it!
I do not know the way to your world.
So it goes, or so they say. Time's like a mountainscape. I don't know, but I can't complain. God knows I've got my own escape. Sometimes I just might, even in the middle of the night. Sometimes, someday, sometimes I wake and bake. But it's got nothing to do with you.
In the mist are the things that terrify each of you the most.
What is it, Will?
Can't you see it? It's horrible!
After today, I'd say we aren't quite through. But I know you won't break down, you won't miss a step, you won't be around, and you'll never regret. But one day, when I'm old and gray, I might look back and say,
Isn't this just as
were the
bad?
golden
Not
days.
understand.
One day when I'm old and I'm gray, I might look back and say, this was the price
It is not the absence of hate that will save your people, but it is the presence of compassion.
I perhaps have lost sight of this. If the generations to follow commit the same errors, then we shall all perish.
Not really. All right. Well, I just wanted to stop in and I wanted to let everyone know that we're available for high school or elementary school visits. We've been going on the road. Last week we were in Deer River, huh, honey?
Oh yeah, that was great.
We went to King Elementary in Deer River and we put on a show. And before that, where were we? We were up in Boys Fort. And we were in Net Lake. Went to Net Lake School, met some kids there. And we've just been traveling, we're touring. I feel like we're in a rock band now.
I know, huh?
So if you'd like us to come to your school, bring the guitars and that. We'll sing some songs, we'll teach them Ojibwe language, and then we'll talk about Ojibwe history and culture. And just leave a message down here. We'd love to come to your school and talk to the kids. And I promise I won't bring Frederick McDougall. I know you kids have heard about him. He's a scary fiddle player. He's been all over the world. I think he was even in Antarctica. I got some real questions for you, Frederick. What was Antarctica like? Oh, what? And, oh, Darcy's here. Bill is here. BOOZHOO, Bill. I think Bill's part of Mocha. Speak of the angel. Bill, how you feeling, buddy? So yeah, we're available for public appearances. Next month, we're going to be coming to Buganageeshig. We're coming out to the Bug School. And for those of you who aren't from around here, the Bug School is not a school for bugs. It's an Anishinaabe school named after Chief Buganageeshig. Chief Hole in the Day. There's a hole in the day. I'm not even sure what that means. What's a hole in the day? I got a hole in my jeans. I got a hole in my underwear. Nah. So yeah. So if you'd like us to come on out, give us a jingle. And otherwise, oh, you can see the sun is coming up. The Muka'am is rising. And so it's going to be a beautiful day. You want to go for a walk, sweetie?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. You guys want to talk to Natasha? You want to come on camera? All right. I'm going to go get Natasha. I'll be right back. Don't I walk awkwardly? It's like I'm hopping. You know, in the 80s, this is how we danced. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. We called it pogoing. You just bounced up and down. Nah. All right. Come on over here, sweetie.
I'm coming in. Don't go away, everybody. Here I come. Walkity walk. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Oh, yeah. So the 80s. 80s were a good time. Hi, everyone. If you're new to the show, I am Natasha. And I'm going out with that handsome dude over there. And so, yeah. If you want to come to your school, I'll be there too. And also Michael, he'll show up. And maybe some of the other guys from the cast. I don't know. What else you want me to say?
Can you tell them, why don't you send us out with an Ojibwe language word?
Okay. Well, I'm going to, in the Anishinaabe way, we never say goodbye. We just say, I'll see you again. So my Ojibwe word of the day is Yigawabamin Minowa. I will see you again. Isn't that right, honey?
That sure is.
Because we know we'll always see each other again. All right. Well, that's all I got today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Now the awkward way of getting offline without destroying the illusion of the show. I'm gonna walk over here. You can dance if you want to. Nah.
And you go up a min, Minowa.